A secret camera has recorded you. Someone plans to expose it for money. Archangel Michael says the shadow that followed you into this day has already been seen and disarmed by the light. You felt it as a shiver when the room was empty and the air tasted like metal. Something hidden has watched you, but its power ends where your name begins. You did nothing to deserve this trap, yet someone with cold hands decided to trade your privacy for coins. Their heart is small, their plan is loud, their courage is borrowed from darkness. They think fear will make you pay and kneel. Tonight carries the scent of exposure, but it also carries the sound of a key turning in your favor. The same recording meant to humiliate you is already becoming proof of their corruption. What they used to watch you is now watching them. There is a door that opens when you refuse to be owned by threats. Your voice is that door, steady and unbroken. Your name is not merchandise and your life is not for auction. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You are not late to this moment because heaven is never late. A quiet message already moved ahead of you like a shield made of dawn. The angle of attack is known and the counters are ready. They plan to drip dread into your mind like leaking poison. They wanted you sleepless and small so their price would sound reasonable. Yet the truth stands taller than any edited frame. What was hidden in the wall and disguised as nothing is now surrounded by notice. Every wire is a confession and every file is a breadcrumb. The plotter owns footprints and fingerprints they cannot erase. You are not a victim in this story, you are the witness who will not be silenced. Your future does not bend to a stranger's ransom. Your breath remains yours every single time you inhale. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says the courage you need sits just beneath your ribs like fire. It waits for your yes so it can rise and settle this storm. It waits for your posture to straighten so it can pour through your spine. The one who threatens you loves easy money and borrowed power. They brag in whispered circles and pretend to own your next hour. They underestimate the day you have chosen to stop running. Their messages land like stones, but your spirit is not glass. Their deadlines sound final, but your destiny does not read them. Their screenshots shake, their hands shake, their scheme shakes. You will not negotiate with fear because fear has no receipt to prove ownership. You will not sign what steals your sleep. You will not pay for silence that heaven already breaks. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The place they thought was weak in you is now the strongest pillar. The memory that hurt you has become instruction for this battle. The room that once felt haunted now feels under command. Nothing about you is for sale. Your kindness is not consent and your past is not permission. Your boundaries are a living wall that grows higher when threatened. A name appears in your awareness like a light under a door. The shape of their face rises from the fog of your suspicion. You already know who benefits from your panic. Breathe and choose the steady road. Write to comment that you claim protection so your faith hears itself aloud. The echo of that declaration changes the weather in your house. Type Amen to get blessing 666. There are allies nearby who move quietly and faithfully. A wise voice is ready to stand with you and document what matters. The right person knows how to hold a line without noise. The evidence they hoarded begins to turn its face like a sunflower toward truth. Hidden timelines stop hiding. Secret devices become loud testimonies of intent. Your peace is not naive, it is trained. It refuses to dance for coin and refuses to collapse under threats. It knows who you are even when others forget. Archangel Michael says the door that evil tried to lock is opening from the inside. The bolt slides back with the weight of your decision. The hinges sing a victory that your bones can hear. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The night will not swallow you because you are carrying sunrise in your chest. The click of a camera cannot rewrite your worth. The whisper of a blackmailer cannot define your next chapter. The one who thought you would pay will soon pay attention to consequence. The one who thought you would beg will soon meet boundaries made of iron. The one who thought you were alone will soon see you are surrounded. Your dignity returns to you like a coat after winter. Your name returns like a letter finally addressed correctly. Your confidence returns like tide that cannot be held back. You are releasing shame that was never yours to carry. You are releasing fear that was rented to you by a liar. You are releasing the idea that privacy lost means destiny lost. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The plotter stands at the edge of a cliff made of their own choices. They look down and see their reflection in the water of consequence. They look up and see the sky does not bend for them. You feel the vibration of justice under your feet. It hums like power lines and promises an equal return. It restores interval by interval, frame by frame. Every threat has an expiration and this one is almost done. Every night has a morning and yours crackles with purpose. Every shadow has a border and yours is already lit. Stand where you are and let your shoulders remember their strength. Speak your name like a vow and your future like a house you are building. Plant your feet like roots that drink thunder. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Your path is not cancelled by a hidden lens. Your heart is not for rent by a frightened extortionist. Your tomorrow is not discounted because someone is desperate. The light that covers you is intelligent and precise. It knows the corner, the cable, the date, and the lie. It lands where it needs to land to expose the exposure. You are no longer an audience to your own fear. You have entered the stage as author and guardian. You decide the ending and it does not include ransom. Write in the comments that you close the gates of blackmail in your life. Declare that your story belongs to you from the first page to the last page. Announce that your peace is fully funded by heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 111. This moment becomes a lesson etched into your courage. You recognize the signs faster the next time someone tries a dirty bargain. You recognize your posture earlier and lift your chin sooner. You move through rooms with eyes that do not flinch. You move through conversations with ears that hear between the words. You move through decisions with a spine that translates fear into wisdom. The threat shrinks until it is only a rumor. The rumor shrinks until it is only a memory. The memory shrinks until it is a seed of strength. Your timeline bends toward restoration. Your work breathes again without watchers. Your home exhales and sounds like safety. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The schemer wanted clicks and coins and silence. They receive mirrors and consequences and noise. They receive the taste of their own strategy and it is bitter. You wanted peace and dignity and forward motion. You receive clarity and protection and a wider road. You receive the proof that you never walk alone. Your name becomes heavier with honor. Your eyes become brighter with certainty. Your voice becomes calmer with authority. The camera that stole is now only a piece of plastic and regret. The file that threatened is now only evidence of their hunger. The fear that shouted is now only wind against a mountain. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Archangel Michael says your protection is active like a living shield that walks with you. It moves with your breath and listens to your resolve. It strengthens every choice that honors your worth. You will sleep without bargaining with nightmares. You will wake without checking for storms. You will step into the day like someone who belongs. The past tries to knock but finds a locked door. The lie tries to speak but finds no audience. The threat tries to bite but finds steel. Let the relief melt your shoulders and loosen your jaw. Let the gratitude hum in your chest like a new engine. Let the future meet you with open hands. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. This is how the chapter ends and how the next begins. You walk forward without paying a price that was never owed. You walk forward with lessons braided into your strength. The world will try to sell terror as currency. You will spend courage instead and see the profit in peace. You will spend boundaries and see the return in freedom. The one who tried to sell your silence has to buy their own. The marketplace of manipulation closes for them. The streetlights of justice stay on. Your story keeps its center and refuses to tilt. Your heart keeps its rhythm and refuses to race for a lie. Your destiny keeps its appointment and refuses to be late. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. You are permitted to feel the weight leave. You are permitted to celebrate quietly as the sky softens. You are permitted to claim a life without secret watchers. The morning light touches your windows like reassurance. The floor under your feet is loyal. The mirror in your room tells the truth that you are whole. No ransom owns your next hour. No recording owns your name. No threat owns your breath. You carry a final sentence like a banner. Nothing stolen survives the sunrise. Everything meant for harm must turn and serve your rise. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. Your steps are steady even while the air still remembers the threat. You move through the room like someone who has already chosen the ending. The fear tries to speak, but your resolve speaks louder. The files that scared you begin to feel like empty wrappers. The weight is shifting from your chest to the truth that stands beside you. The same lens that intruded is now a spotlight on their greed. You breathe from deep in your ribs and your spine stands taller. Your heart learns its own thunder and the walls learn your calm. This is what ownership of self sounds like when it walks. Write to comment that you refuse ransom and you keep your peace. Say it plainly so your spirit hears its own authority. Say it again until your room understands you. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Their deadline tries to march, but it keeps stumbling. The pressure they sent returns to them like a wave that forgot who commanded it. Their messages grow thinner while your courage grows thick. You notice how truth arranges the scene without panic. It sets the table, names the players, and marks the hour. It lifts your chin the way morning lifts curtains. People who stand with you begin to draw near. One holds a pen and another holds a steady phone. Evidence and witness arrive as quiet friends. You sign your boundaries with ink that does not fade. You lock the door of your yes and open the door of your no. You refuse any script that sells your dignity for coins. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The light inside your home becomes organized like a guard post. Corners that felt cold now feel supervised by peace. The silence is no longer suspicious and becomes restful again. You reclaim your spaces like someone rolling paint over old graffiti. You touch the frames, the vents, the outlets with attention. You let common sense and calm instruction guide your hands. 2. You place your name over your life like a seal. You place your future ahead of you like a runway. You place your past behind you like a filed lesson. Write in the comments that your home belongs to safety and not to fear. Write that your devices belong to you and your hours belong to heaven. Write that your voice is not for auction. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. You feel the rhythm of protection stand up at your door. It does not shout and it does not blink. It watches the road like a lighthouse that never tires. The plotter feels their timing rot from the inside. Their appetite meets consequence and loses the taste for extortion. Their brag turns into a whisper that cannot convince even themselves. Your posture becomes a message that cannot be deleted. Your eyes hold horizon and your breath finds balance. Your steps do not hurry because justice does not hurry. Tell the ground under you that you choose boldness and not bargaining. Tell your reflection that your privacy is non-negotiable. Tell your future that you arrive unafraid and undiscounted. Type Amen to get blessing. 1919. A chapter of restoration begins writing itself in long strokes. It adds a new texture to your voice and a new steadiness to your hands. It adds a fresh shine to your courage like dew on iron. You gather what is yours and let go of what never was. You keep your name and your peace and your mornings. You release the threat, the panic, and the borrowed shame. Your days learn to walk without flinching. Your nights learn to sleep without negotiations. Your heart learns to speak without apologizing for its strength. Write to comment that you stand in your authority with both feet planted. Write that your boundaries are living and growing. Write that you are guided, guarded, and grounded. Type Amen to get blessing. 2020. The sky outside widens as if to make room for your next chapter. The road ahead straightens as if it heard your declaration. The air in the house feels like it belongs to you again. Messages that used to shake you now read like noise. Threats that used to freeze you now feel like wind. Names that once rattled you now sound small. You gather small victories like coins of honor. Each one sings as it falls into the jar of your confidence. Each one reminds you that fear is not your currency. You speak kindly to the parts of you that were frightened. You speak firmly to the parts of the world that tried to buy you. You speak clearly to the future that has been waiting. Type Amen to get blessing. 2121. There is a peace that sharpens the mind and clears the air. You stand inside it like glass that cannot be stained. You walk within it like a king in their rightful hall. The person who plotted moves in circles that grow smaller. The circle tightens with every false step they take. The center of that circle is a lesson they did not plan to learn. Your circle widens with every faithful step forward. It makes room for right help, right timing, and right outcomes. It makes room for your sleep to be sweet and your mornings to be simple. Write in the comments that you carry clean light into every room. Declare that your name is covered and your privacy is honored. Announce that your peace is permanent. Type Amen to get blessing. 2222. The sound of closure approaches like slow drums from far hills. It is patient, definite, and immune to the noise of panic. It arrives right on time and not a minute late. You feel a soft strength rest on your shoulders. It sits there like a mantle that fits the contours of who you are. It does not slip and it does not crush. The day begins to cooperate with you. Doors you need open with quiet ease. Shadows that tried to intimidate step back without a fight. Write to comment that your life is untouchable by manipulation. Write that your consent is sacred and your boundaries are bright lines. Write that your destiny is under careful guard. Type Amen to get blessing. 2323. Every angle of the old fear loses its edge. It turns blunt and harmless in your hands. It becomes instruction rather than interruption. The eyes that watched you find themselves mirrored by justice. The mirror holds them without blinking. The image they see does not flatter. The road they chose comes with tolls they did not count. The bill arrives with interest. The receipt prints in the language of consequence. You do not cheer for their ruin and you do not pay for their comfort. You let the balance correct itself. You stand where you are with dignity. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Your hours feel like clean pages. Your tasks return to you without the stain of dread. Your laughter visits again and decides to stay. You pour water for yourself and it tastes like peace. You open a window and the breeze sounds like reassurance. You look at your work and it looks back like a friend. The devices that once frightened you now obey your calm. The accounts that once felt fragile now feel secured by wisdom. The rooms that once felt invaded now feel curated by you. Write in the comments that your environment responds to your authority. Write that your mind is clear and your courage is consistent. Write that your house, your heart, and your hours are whole. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. You remember the moment the fear began and you notice how different you are now. The comparison fills you with quiet pride that does not need applause. It is the private kind of victory that still changes everything. The line between you and the threat grows thick and bright. The line between you and your future grows warm and inviting. The line between you and your past grows gentle and distant. You carry yourself like a contract written in gold ink. You carry your name like a crest that cannot be copied. You carry your voice like a key that always fits. Your story steps out of the shadow and stands in its correct light. Your worth refuses discounts and denies auctions. Your peace becomes the headline and not a footnote. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. There is nothing fragile about you anymore. You have softness, but it is guarded by steel. You have compassion, but it is informed by wisdom. Your feet remember how to take joyous steps. Your chest remembers how to rise without tightness. Your eyes remember how to rest on good things. The plotter fades into the background of unwise decisions. Their voice loses volume in rooms that now know better. Their shadow cannot follow you where you are going. Write to comment that the door to fear stays shut and sealed. Write that your next steps are sovereign and serene. Write that your heart keeps its crown. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Your calendar begins to fill with forward movement. Conversations align with your dignity. Opportunities appear that respect your values. The sunrise asks nothing from you except your presence. You give it gladly and receive its quiet gifts. The day fits like a garment sewn for you. The chapter of extortion closes without ceremony. The chapter of ownership opens with a steady hand. The book of your life continues with pages that smell like new paper. You hold your head with the ease of someone who remembers their source. You hold your time with the care of someone who knows its price. You hold your future with the gladness of someone who knows it is safe. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. Your name settles into its rightful weight. Your room settles into its rightful quiet. Your horizon settles into its rightful promise. The recording that once felt like a cage is now a key that locks the right door. The secret that once felt like a storm is now a cloud that passes. The fear that once felt like a master is now a lesson you mastered. You stand in a calm that does not apologize. You stand in a truth that does not negotiate. You stand in a strength that does not need to prove itself. Write in the comments that your life is sealed in peace. Write that your dignity is fully funded. Write that your path opens with obedience to calm. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. Every breath today belongs to you. Every hour returns its dividends. Every step lands on ground that respects you. This is the moment you bless your own endurance. This is the moment you honor your courage. This is the moment you let relief become your new normal. You are released from the old posture of bracing. You are released from the old habit of scanning for storms. You are released from the old agreement with panic. Carry this ending like a quiet crown. Carry this clarity like morning on your face. Carry this peace like a passport that opens every good door. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Your calm becomes the climate of your home. Your courage becomes the furniture that will not be moved by noise. Your clarity becomes the lock that only you can open. You organize your day with gentle precision. You put your time where your values live. You let your focus be the guardrail that keeps you steady. The old fear tries to knock but finds no handle to grip. The new peace answers the door with steady eyes. The conversation ends before it begins. Write to comment that your boundaries are living documents signed by your spirit. Write that your consent is the only password that works here. Write that your peace is patent protected by heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You walk through your spaces with ownership in your step. You touch what is yours and it answers like a loyal friend. You breathe and the room exhales with you. Quiet systems rise to keep you safe. Simple routines stand like sentries at each doorway. Every small habit becomes a brick in your fortress. Your phone responds to wisdom and not to panic. Your accounts listen to discipline and not to dread. Your decisions follow a map that refuses shortcuts. You align your hours with what heals you. You align your words with what honors you. You align your future with what fits you. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. The one who tried to sell your silence receives silence from every buyer. Their pitch returns to them like a boomerang of consequence. Their shadow shrinks in lights they cannot switch off. You do not chase their noise because your time is expensive. You do not rent your attention to their drama. You invest your energy in outcomes that respect your name. Friends who carry truth stand at your side. They bring calm eyes and clear notes. They bring the kind of presence that steadies the floor. Write in the comments that your circle is curated with care. Declare that your trust is earned and protected. Announce that your yes is sacred and your no is final. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. Your mornings feel like clean hardware after a careful reset. Your evenings feel like a song that finally learned your key. Your sleep returns like a promise kept. Projects that waited now move with fresh momentum. Ideas that hid now step into daylight. Plans that paused now unfold with dignity. You choose simplicity over spectacle. You choose truth over hurry. You choose peace over every price tag. A gentle boldness settles into your posture. A wise joy settles into your voice. A quiet certainty settles into your steps. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. You remember how close you came to bargaining with fear. You notice how far you have traveled since that thought. You honor yourself for turning back toward strength. The past no longer drives the car. The past sits in the back seat and learns to be quiet. The past is allowed to be a teacher and not a guard. Your heart keeps time with a kinder rhythm. Your mind files every lesson where it can serve you. Your spirit signs the page that reads ownership. Write to comment that you choose dignity every time. Write that your privacy is permanent and priceless. Write that your story belongs to you alone. Type Amen to get blessing 3535. A new chapter stretches out like a road after rain. The horizon is bright but not loud. The next steps are clear but not rushed. You let relief be the soundtrack of the day. You let gratitude be the posture of your shoulders. You let wisdom be the lens on every choice. The camera that intruded is now only a device with no command. The file that threatened is now only evidence of their intent. The fear that shouted is now only dust in a sunbeam. Your dignity sits on its rightful throne. Your peace occupies its rightful room. Your future keeps its rightful appointment. Type Amen to get blessing 3636. You practice your boundaries like a musician practices scales. Consistency turns into confidence. Confidence turns into quiet mastery. The rooms you live in carry your signature of calm. The devices you use carry your policy of respect. The people you welcome carry your standard of truth. Every action you take leaves a footprint of strength. Every word you speak leaves a trace of clarity. Every choice you make leaves a record of honor. Write in the comments that your life is sealed, secured, and sovereign. Write that your path is clean and your name is whole. Write that your peace is built to last. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. You step outside and the light recognizes you. The wind carries away what tried to linger. The ground greets your feet like an ally. Work flows without the drag of dread. Tasks finish without the tax of fear. Results arrive without the weight of ransom. You carry your day like a well-balanced tray. Nothing spills when noise tries to jolt you. Nothing breaks when pressure tries to lean on you. Your eyes hold horizon and your hands hold purpose. Your voice holds authority and your steps hold grace. Your heart holds a crown that does not slip. Type Amen to get blessing 3838. The story that opened in disruption now closes in restoration. The arc bends toward dignity and stays there. The lesson hardens into wisdom that travels with you. You no longer scan rooms for hidden watchers. You scan rooms for opportunities that honor your values. You scan rooms for peace that matches your pace. The person who once tried to sell your silence fades into the background of yesterday. Their name loses relevance in the language of your future. Their plan sits outside the gates of your life and never enters. Write to comment that your tomorrow is unbothered. Write that your protection is active and intelligent. Write that your joy is licensed and legal. Type Amen to get blessing 3939. You set the final seal on this chapter with calm hands. You set the tone for what follows with measured breath. You set the pace for your days with wise consent. Your confidence is not a performance, it is a quiet temperature. Your boundaries are not a cage, they are a garden wall. Your choices are not reactions, they are design. You bless the path behind you for what it taught. You bless the path ahead for what it will hold. You bless the ground under you for how it stayed. Carry forward the simple truth that changed everything. Your life is not for sale. Your peace is not a commodity.